What's good, Denver?
What's good, Denver? How are you? I hope you're doing fantastic. Welcome to Denver's Culture and Discovery Show. My name is Ryan. Today's episode is brought to you by Kitcaster. Kitcaster books your podcasts. Specifically, Kitcaster works with funded startup founders, entrepreneurs with exits, and C-suite executives and books them on the world's top podcasts. Put it this way, if you've considered doing a podcast or starting a podcast, it's a lot of work, as witnessed by the last 45 minutes of us setting up the new studio here. And that's with two audio engineers in the building. It's a lot of moving parts. But going on other people's podcasts is a fantastic way to reap all the benefits of podcasting without all the extraneous effort of running your own show. If you have something to say, if you have a message that you're looking to get to a specific audience, go to kitcaster.com and apply today. Kitcaster books your podcasts. All right, today's date is August, is it the 8th?
It's the 8th.
It's the 8th already, oh my gosh. 2023, and we are talking about what's on tap in Denver and Colorado abroad. We're going to go over right now just a review from last week of something that was awesome that we went to and did. So the three of us here today in the studio, Olivia, Tom, and I, all volunteered on Friday doing some farming. Now, never have I ever felt like an amateur farmer before, except for on Friday, where after about an hour and a half, I was totally gassed. But it was a really cool farm. The name escapes me real quick. Do you remember?
Delaney Farms.
Delaney Farms. And they have an amazing mission where they help refugees and immigrants by basically creating a community farm that's just east of Denver in Aurora. And then they sell the produce into restaurants. They also use them for community dinners, giving folks an opportunity to contribute with the farm, but also raising money for folks that definitely need it. So it was great to contribute to an awesome cause, but also it was really cool just to get your hands dirty and pull some weeds. I went in a little bit overconfident. I was like, oh yeah, I could do this. This is no problem. But seriously, after an hour and a half, I was gassed. So my respect for farmers.
It was so hot. You got to get out of there before noon.
It was really hot. We saw some baby rabbits. That was adorable in kind of a little nest. I thought they were rats at first, and then I was pleasantly surprised that they were actually rabbits.
We saw a hawk clutching a snake.
Yeah,
in its talons,
less wholesome.
Flying around.
I liked the rabbits a lot more.
we came to the conclusion that if hawks and snakes became smart and wanted to team up, hawks and rattlesnakes specifically, they could destroy us.
They could really do damage.
Yeah,
a coordinated attack where hawks, delivered the rattlesnake
right to the jugular of a target.
It'd be damaging to Delaney Farms. Thank God they haven't organized yet.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but that was awesome. It was really cool. Shout out to Dana with Delaney Farms. Thank you for the good work that you do. I'm going to popcorn this over to Olivia, although I know Olivia was out of town. So what did you do that was awesome in New Orleans?
I was, and I did all of the good things that New Orleans has to offer. I went there to listen to jazz, eat a lot of good Southern food. I was knee-deep in grits. It was the bomb. And I really wanted to dig into culture this time around and history because New Orleans does have such a complex culture. It's one of the few places in our country that has a unique culture that developed there. So I think I went to 8 museums in 5 days. I was digging in. So yeah, it was cool. Nice. What about you, Tom?
I went to a venue called ReelWorks for the first time. I don't know if anyone here's been there. It's also known as Trax. It's the same building. Trax is the rollerblading version, the roller rink version of the venue. Mm-hmm. But ReelWorks is just the down and dirty nightclub version of the venue. I saw a guy called Jungle, who I didn't really know him, but it was kind of some chill house, disco house type stuff. It was super fun.
Jungle was there?
Jungle, yes.
They're great. They're super popular in Mexico right now. I love them.
In Mexico?
Yeah, I had no idea.
They're popular here too because it was sold out and no one else was allowed in. But we had tickets for a while. I went with a couple of friends and it was definitely worth the trip. So, but anyway, ReelWorks, the venue, super cool.
Cool. Yeah, that Jungle record is amazing.
Cool.
What would you call it? Like, it's kind of like psych disco pop, kind of.
That's exactly what was going on there.
Yeah,
it's very like sunshiny.
Yeah, totally.
Yep, yeah.
Lush vocals. Yeah, that's an amazing record. Nice, Troy. How was your week? What was the highlight of your week, buddy?
Solid weekend out here in San Diego. I went to the Padres-Dodgers game on Saturday. For those who don't know, it's a big rivalry, interdivisional matchup. For those baseball fans out there. But even if you're not into baseball, Petco Park's just a super, super cool place if you're ever visiting. There's so much food, breweries, restaurants, things to do. And it's really cool just to walk around and kind of the ambiance of the ballpark. So I had a really, really good time doing that. And it was also a beautiful day, which helps. It's right on the San Diego Harbor. But yeah, if you're ever in San Diego, Petco Park's a must see for sure.
Amazing. How'd the Padres fare? Did they win?
They actually did win. They came back in the 8th inning miraculously. Unfortunately, it was their only win out of the 4-game series, which seems like it's kind of been the case all year. But yeah, it was a great day. Got the dub and had some food and some beer. So it was a good day.
Nice. Yeah, I love that stadium. And anything to topple the Dodgers. I was going to say something snarky about the Padres, but the Rockies are so god-awful.
Yeah,
no room to talk.
There's no point.
Denverites are going to find you doing a Denver podcast talking like that.
No, they're behind me.
Everyone knows.
They're with me. We've suffered long and hard. It's been I would say 3 or 4 years before I really lost all confidence. Because typically, being a Rockies fan, you have until about the All-Star break where you're getting really excited about the thing, but after the All-Star break, it's all falling apart. So now they fell apart before the season even started. Come on, Rockies, let's go.
Come on.
Okay, let's do upcoming events, and I'll kick it off. So right here, we'll just talk about things that are going on that we encourage folks to go check out. The first one I've got here is the Monster Battle, which is presented by Meow, and it's August 10th, 2023. This is a free event. It's specifically for kids and families, and if it's presented by Meow, I assume it to be like extraordinary in some capacity. This is the first Meow Monster Battle in Denver ever, and it is at 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. in Cheeseman Park. Specifically, they're looking at, I think they're at the corner of 11th Avenue of the park. So I'll read a bit about it. It says, "A battle, you say? Yes, you read correctly. Remember the simpler times when you LARPed with your friends in a park while onlookers looked quizzically at your incredible spellcasting abilities? That's the style of battle we're going for here. All are welcome, embrace your true self, and battle with others. Or dance in a lovely costume among friendly beings to our live music on site." So they're going to have DJs, there's going to be prizes, there's going to be a monster battle. So, I mean, if you're adventurous, you bring your kids to this, but it seems like from the description, we're going to have probably a lot of older folks.
Yeah, definitely older people are going to be there.
Are kids into LARPing? I don't know.
No, they just want to watch.
I feel like they'd
Maybe
LARP
they'll
without
participate.
rules, like just, you know what I mean? Like playing imaginary.
Mm-hmm.
They don't need all those LARPing rules.
Are there a lot of rules? You're like, hey, wait, you can't do that advanced spell because you're not, level 11 yet.
I'm going to show up in full knight's armor
Please do.
with a real sword.
Yeah.
Please don't bring your... Well, now Tom's going to be there with a sword, so please don't bring your children.
Yeah, exactly. A Meow event at Cheeseman Park for kids. So it sounds really cool. I mean, if it was me and my kids, I'd probably be there for bounce about 5:30. But it also seems like fun for anybody who wants to participate. So shout out to Meow for putting that together. My second event is the new opening of Dazzle. If you guys don't know about Dazzle, Dazzle is possibly one of the world's greatest jazz club that has been in Denver for 20, 25 years. They're moving to their third location. They were at Bowers, and now they're moving to, I think, DCPA. They're part of kind of the Pavilion. So they have a club and a theater and a bar there. But also this gives them opportunities to expand into the theaters and auditoriums and do bigger shows kind of as Dazzle presents. Now, for folks that don't know about Dazzle, particularly their owner, Donald Rossa, is an absolute gem. His contributions to like Denver and the cultural landscape of Denver are just are so innumerable that it goes without mention, but I'm going to mention it anyway. So particularly around COVID, jazz musicians is not exactly the fulcrum of commerce, we could put it that way. And so jazz musicians were uniquely kind of affected by the shutdown because they really rely on clubs for their livelihood. So in response, as Dazzle was closed because of COVID restrictions, they opened up what they called Bread and Jam, which was kind of a food pantry where you could go and donate, food, personal care items, and that musicians that were struggling could kind of come in anonymously and just pull stuff off the shelf. Just take whatever they need. There was kind of an open door arrangement. Hey, come on in. You don't need to sign up anything. You don't need to do anything. Just grab what you need, which helped a lot of musicians. Additionally, I think Dazzle's always kind of like been kindred to like Denver's kind of unique jazz pedigree and history. There was a legendary club called El Chapultepec that existed in Lodo for, 100 years maybe, that recently closed. And again, this is a place where, Jack Kerouac and Neil Cassidy got drinks and saw Cannonball Adderley play. This place was an absolute Denver institution, and they ended up selling the place. But the El Chapultepec will live in our hearts forever. So in response, as Dazzle is moving to their new location, I believe it's on the weekends, they're doing jazz trios from like 11 p.m. to 1 a.m., basically in honor of El Chapultepec, which is super cool, and getting a lot of those players that gig there all the time to do those late night sets. Because, if you were accustomed to Denver's nightlife scene, you always found yourself at El Chapultepec at some time. So now I think what they're doing is they're basically launching the new club, which I'm looking a picture at. It looks amazing. There's a gigantic mural of Ron Miles, rest in peace.
It looks huge.
Yeah, it does. It looks really big, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
This like neon thing that they're doing on the stage that kind of quotes their logo, it's absolutely gorgeous. I mean, that's testament to Donald's eye too. He's always really been a mentor of mine, and particularly keeps an interest in all of your senses. He wants something to smell good, taste good, look good, touch good. Touch good?
Yeah, touch good.
It touches really good. So definitely check out Dazzle's opening. They're doing a bunch of events. I think they're calling out right now to kind of collect stories of what Dazzle's meant for them. The level and caliber of player at Dazzle is extraordinary. They really bring top-notch, national, world-renowned jazz to Denver, and super stoked for them to be opening in the new spot. Last thing from me is the Hotdogger. And I reached out to a couple folks who was like, hey, what's coming up that you want to talk about, or that would be interesting to talk about? And so this was posted by Katie White. Shout out Katie. And the Hotdogger is a premier hot dog eating contest, endurance mountain bike race, and charity fundraiser.
Do you mountain bike race before or after the hot dogs?
Or are they separate events? I don't know.
Oh.
I don't know. It's in Fruta, so it looks like you'll be in the National Monument. Hot dogs eaten. Participants will be asked to self-report the number of hot dogs they consume throughout the race. So it's done simultaneously.
That's terrifying.
Oh my God.
That's
I feel like we run over one rock, all of a sudden you're choking on a dog.
Yeah, and I guess it's on the honor system because they're like, you ate 14 hot dogs, we'll take your word for it, buddy.
Oh my God. How are you getting reloaded? Are people like holding hot dogs on the side of the trail, or do you just maybe they give you a big pack of dogs, and you just gotta work on it as you're going.
I also went to high school at Fruita Monument High School, so when you said Fruita just now, I'm like, is my like high school geology teacher doing this? Like, do I know these people? Wild.
Your high school geology teacher in Fruita had to be extraordinary. That's one of the most incredible geological areas on planet Earth.
Yes, true
Nice.
that.
Well, hopefully he's consuming hot dogs. And it does sound like there are some technicalities here that the hot dogs must be consumed with a bun, although substitutes due to dietary restrictions will be accepted. So, if you're, I don't know, what are you going to do? A lettuce wrap?
I was gonna check out the FAQ section on this on this site pretty soon.
Yeah.
Hot dog regulations.
I need to know how this is gonna work.
You can learn more. It's also a charity event, hotdogger.org, and they're supporting, I believe, a trail and mountain bike charity. Let me find out. It's Friday, October 20th through Sunday, October 22nd of this year. Still tickets, still time to register for that. Shout out to the Hotdogger. That's it from me. Tom, what's on tap this week?
I got some things going. I'm always gonna keep everyone updated on the music scene. A little bit of dance music, a little bit of everything else. We'll go into the Red Rock schedule. I think that's a nice little weekly thing to do. But Pretty Lights again this weekend. The Great Migration is happening, I assume, from Mission Ballroom up to Lake Dillon Amphitheater for the second weekend. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Pretty Lights. Apparently it was a great show at Mission, so he's back. Red Rocks. Tomorrow, Wednesday, we got Maggie Rogers. Thursday, Parker McCollum. Friday, John Party. Saturday in the morning, 7 a.m., you got Yoga on the Rocks. That happens every week. One day I'm going to get up to that, I think. But Saturday night and Sunday night, Slightly Stupid. So anyone who's into any of that, get out there. Other things going on this weekend. Every single girl in a sundress and guy in a golf shirt is hyped about this. I'm hyped about it. I might not be in town, but I want to go. Saturday, August 12th, the Denver Brunch Fest is happening at the Tivoli Quad. Tivoli Quad's right over between Ball Arena and MSU Denver.
Tivoli Quad, how dare
Tivoli. I like to say Tivoli.
Tivoli, whatever.
You like to be wrong, dude.
I'm going to go over there and ask them, I guess. I don't know. I like their beer. But 1:30 p.m. to 4:30 p.m., all you can eat sample dishes from the top brunch restaurants in Denver. Also, you wouldn't have a brunch festival without bottomless mimosas and Bloody Marys. I mean,
You can't beat it.
sounds dope.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah. So 1:30 to 4. There's a couple different ticket levels. You can get early access. You can get, VIP areas and VIP samples. But that sounds cool. That's at brunchsohard.com. Oh wait, brunch-so-hard.com. Another cool event. I don't know if anyone's ever been to Denver Comedy Underground. Ryan, I'm sure you've been there. But they've been doing this every so often. But this weekend, Friday and Saturday night, they're doing Top Secret Show. They always have good people coming through here, but they say, this is right from their website, the acts are so good they have to keep them secret this weekend. Okay. So they do this like every once in a while, maybe once or twice a month, but for $20 you get your first drink for free and free pizza. And you get to see who the secret acts are. So that's denvercomedyunderground.com. You could find the event for that. We'll put the real link to the actual event into the description. So yeah, those are the events that I'm looking at this weekend. Olivia?
Tremendous. Hold on. Just before we go to Olivia, I hate to do this to you guys, but do you guys mind closing it out? I got to go jump on this call. Is that cool?
Let's do it.
Cool. I'm not going to be able to share live my music pick after Olivia's event, so we'll just put it in the show notes.
Okay.
Cool.
Olivia, if you have anything you want to say, Ryan can peel off. We can close it out.
Wait, we could just jump back in. Like, if you want to take your call, we could finish out. Or do you want us to just do it?
Just pause. I think it'd be fine. I don't have anything left to add.
If
Okay.
It's cool
So
with you, yeah.
Ryan, peel out. Olivia, give us your events, and then we're out of here.
Got it.
Okay. Cool. So the first thing I want to talk about is actually not an event. It's Denver Community Fridge Program. And I wanted to dig into this because I've been thinking about for a while, I've seen them around Denver. There are these painted fridges that say free food. And I've always wondered, like, who takes care of these? How are these funded? Like, how can the community engage with it? And so this week I decided to do a little bit of research about it. And it is a local mutual aid project. They provide food and hygiene products, and essentially Denver Community Fridge will like facilitate the installation and painting of the fridge and the shelf. But then local businesses, like there's one by Huckleberry Roasters in Sunnyside, can sign up and say, you know, we want to host this for the community. And then the program, you know, drives around and does food deliveries and maintains them, but also the community can engage with them, which I think is so cool. So like that Sunnyside community, anybody there can follow their guidelines, which are on their website. We'll link it for, you know, what kinds of meals and products to drop off. And I really like, just the idea that like we can and do care for our communities.
Yeah,
so
I see those all over the place.
Yeah.
There's one right over here I'm thinking we're in the old office, but right in Rhino on Larimer Street. And then the other one I've seen is on South Broadway, but yeah, they're all
by
painted.
Mutiny.
Yeah. And they always have like good stuff in them.
Yeah.
I see people putting stuff in all the time.
Mm-hmm. And I like that
cool.
it's just like 24/7, like take something, leave something, just like taking care of your community. So shout out Denver Community Fridge. Love that. The thing that did you know, Tom, that this is the 50-year anniversary this Friday of hip hop? Like,
what?
Yes.
There's a date for that?
There's a date. So there was this block party that was had in the Bronx in, it was like 79, I think. Somebody's going to correct me. 50 years ago this Friday, DJ Kool Herc, I want to say, had this like basement party, and it's known as like the moment that hip hop came to be. So 50-year anniversary, this venue that I've actually never heard of called the Banshee, they're kind of a flex event space, is doing like an all mediums celebration. There are going to be like 5 local photographers that do like culture and street photography, live art, DJing, tattooing, which I've got questions. I'm ready. And yeah, just celebrating hip hop culture's birth. So looking forward to that this Friday night. And then this coming Monday, there is a life drawing class that I'm stoked about. It's actually all the way in Longmont. But the reason that I'm excited about it and willing to drive that far is when I was doing research on their website, they list the names and genders of all of the models that they have there. And I've been to a lot of life drawing classes, and I've never seen that before. So I thought that was really cool and respectful. And yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Like BYO supplies and easels and, you know, mixed medium, just come hang out. Really looking forward to that.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Sounds dope.
The 50th anniversary of the entire genre of hip hop. That's pretty wild. That's a big one.
That's what I was saying. I was like, wow, they got it down to the date.
Yeah.
Do we have
hip-hop.
anniversaries for other genres?
I don't know.
I feel like that's kind of what's like one of the many things that's so cool about hip hop though, is like, I mean, we're pretty young, but like that's a lifetime. Like in a lot of people's lifetime, this entire genre and culture evolved. That's wild.
Cool. That sounds dope.
Music wise, what are you listening to, Tom?
What am I listening to?
Yeah.
I have some new... All right, well, I just went on a big trip, maybe one of the bigger trips I've ever done, over to Europe for Tomorrowland.
Oh, yeah, you did.
I go to electronic festivals a lot, but this one's pretty focused on house music, techno music, hardstyle music, those types of things. Like American people, Western festivals typically have like dubstep, bass music, and the house music, all that stuff. But over there in Tomorrowland, they're focused on house, drum and bass,
I feel like Europe's scene in general, they just like house way more than us.
Oh yeah, they do. It's starting to infect its way out here, but
is big room house like still a huge thing
they got big room house going all day over there.
I remember back in the day that was like the main stage thing, was the big room house, the progressive house.
Yeah, it sounds better though now than like 2012 big room
like
house,
Hardwell,
in my
like
opinion.
Hardwell and Afrojack and all that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, both of those guys were at Tomorrowland.
Oh, okay. They're still there, still going.
But yeah, they're still going. They're still going. But I like how the new music is sounding more than the old music. The new remixes, the new styles, they're a little more bouncy, a little more bassy. But so yeah, I've just been getting deeper into some drum and bass stuff because I hadn't really done too much of that, and I've been deep into house for a while. But
you're deep into the deep house.
Yes.
Okay.
We're deep into it.
We should get a drum and bass intro song for this podcast.
I mean, you're the composer, so we
yeah.
can have as many intros as you want,
Sure.
man.
I'll collab with you on that.
Let's do it.
Yeah. Just get a boop 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 boop.
Yeah.
We got Ryan back.
Welcome back, Ryan.
Back? We still recording?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
are.
we're going.
So-
We're talking about the music, or what we're listening to right now.
Cool.
Me and Troy are gonna collab on a drum and bass special intro for a future episode.
Sick. Love it.
Just gonna get it going.
So Tom was going to sauce us his music picks inspired by Tomorrowland.
Oh yeah, yeah. So something inspired, but I wouldn't say inspired by Tomorrowland, but definitely genre-wise. I don't know. This song is a new one that I found on the like kind of chill house, different house vibe. It's All Night by A-Trip, A-T-R-I-P. So check that one out. We can put the links in the
Yeah,
thing.
definitely. We'll link it for you.
Or the name of the song, whatever. But it's good. It's good stuff. Who else?
What
Olivia,
about-
you go real quick. Let's hear what you're listening to.
All right. I tend to be a like full album girly a good deal of the time. I like to listen start to finish and just get the whole picture. So the album that I've been listening to this week is the new. Well, it's not really new. It came out kind of at the end of July. The new Greta Van Fleet album, Starcatcher. Rocks super hard. It sounds pretty similar to their previous albums, kind of like Nouveau, Led Zeppelin situation. So not reinventing the wheel, but it's real good and worth a listen from start to finish. What about you, Ryan?
Yeah.
Nice. I'd love to hear that. I'm also an album girl through and through.
Nice.
And it's it's not an album era right now. We're really in a singles era, but we're also in this new thing, which is a playlist era, which, like mixtapes are amazing because they're generally like they were 10, 12 songs. You could really encapsulate like a small message to send to somebody else. But playlists, you got a 2-hour playlist, you really are getting like the whole circumference of the feeling with the playlist. So maybe we're in the playlist era, but I'm the same way. I like an album. I want to hear like what the journey somebody's taking me on and have like a cohesive work. So the pick I've got is also an album today, and it is the album released in 2022 by Butcher Brown, and I believe it's self-titled. I'm looking at this right now. It's just like Butcher Brown presents Triple Tray, which is the intro, but it's an absolutely fantastic album. What it is, it's kind of like a boom bap era inspired instrumental jazz type record. So again, I guess we'll kind of stand within jazz and hip hop today from me, but it is awesome. It slaps big time. Like if you're a fan of like the Dap Kings and what they were doing with kind of taking like a new old sound with a live band kind of sound sampled. Very similar instrumentation, but they don't have so much of a live or lo-fi quality to it. It's kind of rich and lush, and the horns are fantastic. So that's me. Butcher Brown presents Triple Tray. Did Troy give his picks?
No, we need to hear something from Troy.
Shout to Troy. What
Yeah.
do you got on tap for us?
Yeah, Butcher Brown's good. I'm a fan. That's a great recommendation. I think I'm going to go with just an artist in general. They're an Australian band under the name Hiatus Coyote.
Dude, one of my old faves.
Yeah, they're
Sorry,
incredible.
bro.
Like kind of like, I don't even really know how to describe it. It's like very kind of technical jazz infused R&B alternative. But they're insane. Like they're so technical, so good. And they're actually coming to Red Rocks on October 2nd, I think, which is extremely tempting. But I've seen them twice, and they're like up there for sure. It's some of my favorite live music I've ever seen. Actually, no, they're going to be in San Diego around that time, so I probably won't make it out to Red Rocks. But if you're in Colorado, I would 150,000% recommend going to that show.
Napalm, their vocalist, is one of my favorite vocalists. She's so talented.
She's really
So second that. Nice one.
really good. Yeah.
Nice. Troy's got Denver events for us.
Come through, Troy.
Let's go.
I just looked it up and noticed, and I was like, oh, okay, cool.
They got Red Rocks.
I thought Red Rocks was Tom's lane. What are we going to do?
I'm only Red Rocks this week. Troy's Red Rocks in the future. Next month.
What can you say about Troy? Troy really is the LaDainian Tomlinson of podcasting. You know what I mean?
Nice.
He carries the
What?
ball.
Good reference.
That's for people who know about sports ball. I'm the resident outsider here on that. But yeah, sports ball.
He was really good. Nice. Thanks, everybody. Tom, Troy, Olivia, fantastic. Thanks so much for your input and events this week. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to reach out to us, you can find a contact in the liner notes of this podcast and the podcast player that you are listening to. You can also find us on YouTube, the channel of which we'll be actually putting together today. So don't have a link, but if you search "What's Good Denver" by the time this comes out, you will find us. And we're looking for input. So if you've got a favorite playlist, if you've got a favorite opening, if you've got a favorite restaurant, let us know what you love about Denver and what's good. Right now in summer for you, we want to hear from you. So otherwise, this is us signing off until next week. What's good?
What's good?